Okay, we're back, finally. I've had a few camera issues, which is why I haven't posted in a while, but the guys at Camera Repairs Direct have sorted that out for me. I'll leave a link below, so if you have any camera issues, do give them a go. Today, I want to give you an enriched bread dough recipe. Now, I'm pretty excited about this one because it's kind of a recipe I developed as my go-to enriched dough. So I want to share it with you because it's super versatile and will open your baking up to a whole host of things. Okay, enriched bread dough. Now this is like a little step up from a basic white bread dough, but we're not going as far as a brioche. It kind of sits in between and it's a really versatile recipe. You can use it for hot dog buns, burger buns, cinnamon swirls, cinnamon buns, tea cakes, fruit loaves, you name it, you can adapt this to any of those things. So you're going to need 500 grams of strong white bread flour, 2 whole eggs, 50 grams of caster sugar. If you're doing a savoury version, i.e. for a burger or something, you take that down to 10 grams, but we'll do the sweet version here. So 50 grams of caster sugar, 8 grams of yeast. Again, that's a little bit more than you'd use in a basic white bread dough, but because this is enriched with butter and eggs, they're all things that are going to sort of retard the yeast and stop it working so well. So upping the yeast by a gram will just ensure it works, give us that extra boost. And 10 grams of salt. And then in the pan I've got 100 grams of butter, unsalted butter, that I've melted on the hob and then added 230 grams of whole milk to it to make a sort of butter milk mixture, which is, you know, just above room temperature, slightly warm. So the technique, there's not much involved. We're going to put it all in a KitchenAid and mix it up. This is more about giving you a recipe that just works really well and consistently. You probably are going to need a KitchenAid because it's quite a wet, sticky dough, so not sure how that would work trying to knead it by hand, but by all means give it a go. But we're going to stick with the KitchenAid, so here we go. In our bowl, we've got our 500 grams of bread flour, pre-weighed, just like they do on television. 50 grams of caster sugar, our salt, 10 grams of salt, and our yeast, 8 grams of yeast. Onto the mixer, turn it on to a low speed, just let that mix together, and then we're going to add our butter and milk mixture. In that goes. Lovely. Like I say, you don't want that too hot because that's going to kill your yeast. But seriously, by the time you've added the cold milk into the hot butter, it should be at about the right temperature. That's just starting to incorporate. So we'll switch that off before it makes a full dough, and we'll add our eggs. So 2 whole large eggs. 1, 2. Okay, now mix this for a good 5 to 10 minutes. It is going to be quite a wet, sticky dough, as I've said, so you can take this up to a 2 or 3 to incorporate it and really get it mixed. Okay, that's been about 10 minutes, so that has given us a nice, stretchy but sticky dough. So let's scrape that off the dough hook. There we go. Now, I wouldn't try and take this out of the bowl and shape it into a ball to prove, because it's just too sticky. So I just use a dough scraper, just scrape down the edge of the bowl, and you're sort of trying to form it into a ball in the bowl. So there we go, it doesn't have to be Perfect. Good. Something like that. Then cover it with cling film. That'll stop it drying out at all, because this stove you can leave, I would recommend you leave this at room temperature for an hour to start proving. Then if you want to use it straight away, transfer it to the fridge and let it prove for another hour in the fridge, or if you do this in the evening you can put that in the fridge after the first hour and leave that overnight to prove. You need the fridge time to A, develop the flavour, and B, it'll just harden up the butter in the dough and it's going to make it easy to work with. So, come and join me in the next video where I'll show you how to shape this into cinnamon knots, cinnamon swirls, or both. So until then, see you later.